Hey, good evening, everyone. This is Sam, and I'll be doing the free video for March 26th, 2021. So the market just closed a few hours ago, about 2 hours ago. Phenomenal close. One of the most spectacular closes I think I can recall in recent memory, especially because it was doing it off of its back a little bit. So it's not like it was trending perfectly intraday, and then it had an amazing close. It was really kind of on its back a little bit, and then just bang in the last 2 hours or so before the close, from 39.10 to a close of 39.63. So about 50 handle move in the last 2 hours on ES. Just phenomenal stuff. In doing so, it's reshaped a lot of the charts. We were looking at this yesterday in the live room as it happened, and we told the members there, you might want to go ahead and close your shorts because it did hit the short target down there at 38.54. And that actually ended up being a pretty good call to close out the shorts. At this point, you do have that squeeze that's still in play on the SPX. And not only that, but I think you might actually have a 2-day squeeze and a potential. I think you actually have a 2-day and a 3-day squeeze as well on the futures. So just really phenomenal stuff. Typically, April is from a seasonality perspective, April is a bullish month. So it's certainly set up for that to occur because you now have the 2-day and the 3-day squeeze. Squeezes usually go about 8 to 10 bars. So if that 3-day squeeze triggers in April, that gives you about 24 to 30 days of bullish pressure, if you will, to the upside. So, it basically takes care of all of April if that comes through. Now, of course, you do need to make some higher highs here to get this to play out, but by and large, the pattern is certainly there. And the seasonality going into April is also there. So in the short term, I'm looking for 4,054 on SPX to the upside. Real quick, I'm going to throw a couple picks your way. We had been talking about Wayfair. I did close out of my Wayfair earlier this week, but I think it's 100% back in play for another attempt here to the upside. Restoration Hardware had earnings, and they came out extremely good. And I think Wayfair plays well with that idea. It's a similar idea. They both have high short interest. And here on Wayfair, you've actually gone back into a squeeze. You have a squeeze over here on the 195, and this weekly chart is still perfectly aligned. So even throughout the pullback here, there was never a break of the trend. All it did was come back to the 21. It held, and now you're actually trying to make that big breakout here on Wayfair above 350. I'm still looking for 380 here on Wayfair. Another one that popped up, this is more of a proxy for the Asian markets, so we won't cover that in this video. We did cover it with the members earlier in the premium video, but there's a very decent reversal setup setting up in the Asian markets. Now, I still don't think that FANG stocks are the place to be going into next week, but in the event the technology does get a bid, I do like the idea of playing the semiconductors higher. So here on the semiconductors, the squeeze has now given you an upward bias. You're nice and flat here on your 195-minute squeeze as well. And if you can get this thing, the SMH, above 242, which is the 618 high to low, as well as just, you can see it, bang, bang. And then we didn't close above it today, but the third test should be the one that gets through. I'm looking for 250 here on SMH. If it gets above that, there is a lot of confluence there, so be aware. Then if it gets above that, 258, which is the previous highs. So you can look at the components. AMAT looks great. Texas Instruments looks great. Or you could just buy the field and go with SMH. I think at this point they all should play well together. And then let's see if there's anyone else that we can look at. You know what? Let me throw one your way that's a little random. We'll close out with a little bit of randomness. So here on GFL, nice breakout today. Nice little breakout pattern. Normally I would say don't chase breakouts, but this one's proper. And it still has plenty of juice in it because the squeeze has not triggered. So you have the squeeze, you have the trend, 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 and 195-minute squeeze. So a little bit of a smaller stock, kind of random, but a good place to focus into next week. So again, the indices look very, very poised here going into the last week of March and going into the typically bullish month of April. I still don't think that FANG stocks are the place to be. I have a FANG index that I look at that's still not as bullishly positioned as a lot of other things, but I do think that in the technology sector, the chip stocks, the semiconductors, are a good place to focus. I also continue to like the Russell to the upside because there's a lot of meat on that bone if it gets to its target. And aside from that, I'm going to be looking at the Asian markets going into Monday just to see how they open. If they open with a positive tenor, that should continue the positive tenor here, and it sets us up for a big April. So let's take care of it. All right, guys, that's my time. As always, come check us out if you haven't yet. Simplertrading.com. This is what we do there every day. We basically called the low yesterday, so I think that was not too shabby. So come check us out if you like our content. Make sure that you subscribe, hit that bell notification icon so that you're notified when we post a new video. Do us a favor, leave us a like before you close the page. Leave us a like, leave us a dislike, leave us a comment. Take your choice or do all three. Just let us know you were here, right? It does help us with growth and just getting more people to see the videos. So if you watch our stuff, don't be a freeloader. Go ahead and it's free, right? But subscribe to us, leave us a like, leave us a comment, good, bad, or ugly. We're all about it. So hopefully this video was helpful, guys, and we'll see you for the next one. Cheers.
Without Simpler Trading, I could not have financial independence.
This is one of the best investments I ever made in my life.
It's helping me find consistency. It's one of the things that won me